Hello everyone and welcome to another Zbrush class by Alain Diaz. Today we're going to do a quick session here on how to do hands, feet, and ears. So let's get started. Quickest way to just have some topology to work on here is to use your existing model. You have geometry, Dynamesh on and ready to go. We know that this model is 5.94 inches tall. So let's start by selecting, let's start by making a duplicate, right? Duplicate, turn off the first one. And we're gonna use these knobs here to the hands. Delete hidden, Dynamesh. Okay. For a hand, I want you to work at one hand at a time. So turn off symmetry. Let's select this side, delete hidden. All right. My pen ready here. Okay. Let me orient myself here. I'm going to grab the move tool, never a 50. Always bring that down, the intensity down on that. Okay. There's my little knob in it. Okay. So let's just start pulling this guy into a hand shape. Right? Just using your move tool here. Okay. Smooth. Alright, so now with that basic palm print hand done, I'm going to go ahead and duplicate that. And now this one, turn off the gizmo, transpose line, and click and drag, and I'm going to squeeze that down. And I'm going to squeeze it down from this angle, make it look more like the size of a finger here. I'm going to bring that down here. Right. I'm going to flip that over because the top looks better. That top looks better than the bottom. Excuse me. Move. And there we go. Just make that guy even skinnier. Alright. That looks good. Click and drag while holding down Control. Take the middle circle and you can make a copy. And this guy's going to be a little longer, so click and drag your transpose line. And then once again, I'm going to hold down Control and middle circle, click and drag. And I have another finger. I'll drag this one back a little. And now we need a pinky. Control, middle circle, and this one I'm going to go ahead and make it a little thinner and shorter here. It's a pinky. Little Mr. Pinky. Now I'm going to select the first finger here, or mask it off, and hold down Control. And now we're going to make a thumb. Rotate, click and drag, middle circle, middle circle, middle circle. Now this guy is going to go up here, because that's where the thumb would be. Rotate. Right, there we go. Turn off the body here. Okay. Let's move this guy down here. Further out. Okay, excellent. Now let's turn on polyframe here. Now these guys are all the same group. So let's do outer groups. Now we have different outer groups here. Different groups. So let's use our mask by polygroup slider and move that all the way to 100. Now we're going to select our inflat brush. Inflat, there we go. Bring that down to 4. Turn on polyframe. Actually, let's go ahead and merge down our palm here. So make sure it's on top here and merge down. Okay. So now because we have mask by polygroups here, let's get the move tool real quick. Line these guys up. So again, because you have mask by polygroups, only the group where the little dot is on will get affected at any point without having to select one or the other. Just want to be precise with this here. These guys where you want them. Go back to the inflat brush. Okay. There, like that. Oops. So remember, wherever the little dot is, that's what's gonna get the action. Also remember, use reference. Use reference. I've done many hands, so I have reference in my head, but I spend many hours studying hands and all their anatomy, and that's why I can do this without having to follow reference. But you must follow reference. You must follow reference. It's always gonna come out better if you follow reference. Now I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this. Turn that off. Do a courtesy save here. And always save. Okay. So this hand is ready to be Dynamesh together. So let's do that. Dynamesh. Let's increase the resolution. Dynamesh. Okay. Of course, you got to keep in mind whether you're doing a female hand or a male hand, or any other kind of hand, a warrior hand. All those hands will be different. Again, get reference. Get reference for any and all of these, because they will be all different. Let me add a wrist or part of a wrist here, if that always helps. I'm gonna get the damn standard. Okay, bring down the intensity. And I'll mark out the. Remember to turn on your stroke lacy mouse radius if you need a little more control with your mouse, right? Remember, you dance standard, you add or you take away. So I'm adding the knuckles here. Okay. I'm gonna smooth out. Notice my resolution here is active points 3500, so this is very low. So very low, you can see it's very low. I don't want to increase the resolution until I'm ready to add a lot of detail. This lets me smooth really easy, and just lets me really get the detail or the basic shape of my hand down before I start increasing the resolution. These points need to be knocked off, see? I can knock them off really easily with my smooth tool because the resolution is still fairly low. Back up with our advanced standard. Okay, we're gonna cut that guy in half here. Let's see. Oop. Okay, all right. Get a little more in flat right there. In this palm, it should go all the way in here. This is why you need reference, folks, because if not, you won't put the things where they're supposed to go. So make sure you're following some kind of reference. Delete hidden. All right. Let's add a little more knuckles here to the fingers. Now remember, on a hand here, it's a very simple system. From the knuckle, which would be the wrist bone here, actually, which would be here. From here to here should be this. Oh no, no, yes. From there to there should be the same distance. Then from here to the finger, to the middle finger, should be the same distance, give or take. And then from here to the finger, the middle is where the knuckle will be. From here to the finger is where the middle is where the knuckle will be. From here to the end is where the middle is where the knuckle would be, and so on and so forth. And then from here, the middle is where the other knuckle would be. From here to here is where the other knuckle would be. From here to here, the other knuckle would be. From here to here is where the other knuckle would be. And flat. Let's increase the resolution slightly here. Let me cut these down on the back here. And same thing here on the back. Metal, the middle, and the middle, and the middle. All kinds of hands are all kinds of different, but this basically is the standard. The middle, the middle, the middle. And the thumb is just usually the same length as the long finger here. So from here to here, the middle should be right here. And then This means the stump should be longer. Should be about, again, the thumb, the length of the thumb should be about the length of the middle finger, give or take. Band standard. So middle. Increase the rest on the band standard here. The intensity. And the tendons go from the middle of the hand. They don't go straight out. They go from a point to the knuckles. Save as. I'm just inflating what the knuckles would be. Oof, gotta get these fingers a little thinner here. You want to see the next finger? Let's just select lasso here and hide this guy out. There we go. And now I can get in here and mess with this guy. Let me hide this guy. Alright. Further. That's more like the shape of a finger. Get the bring out the polish hard brush here, which you should have in your custom palette. I mean your custom UI. Because the top of the fingers are flat, not round. Go ahead and look at your own hand, and you'll see what I mean. Fingers are not round. Smooth, smooth, smooth. And so when I smooth, I kind of pretend I'm adding skin. I'm growing skin on my fingers here. That's the way I look at it. I kind of carve in the muscles and the tendons, and then when I smooth, I'm adding skin. I'm growing skin on my model. Flat brush. This side's a little flat here, so just inflate that side, even it out. Okay, I'll polish hard here. All right. Smooth, smooth. Let's increase the resolution even more. Add. Okay. There we go. Inflate brush here. So notice how the brushes affect your model here differently as you change the resolution, right? Some do more, are more effective, some are less effective. So that's why you want to slowly move up your resolution. You don't want to start high res. You want to go to high res when you need it. Only when you need it. As long as you don't need it, don't bother to put it on. Just get those creases that the hand gets in here, right? A couple little wrinkles here. Never hurt. You can't really overdo it. Just be random. Don't line them up, right? Skin and anatomy is never linear. You always want to be very random with knuckles and things like that, and wrinkles. And always use 3s and 5s. Don't do 2 lines. That's boring. Always 3s and 5. That's sort of an art lesson there. One of the best ones I know. Symmetry is the enemy of art. Things are more interesting to human beings when they're not symmetrical. It's just something that is the way it is. So don't be symmetrical. Don't be even. Don't be linear. Don't be square. Be hip, as they say, because it's hip to be square. Well, no, it's not hip to be square. Never mind. So random 3s and 5s. 3s and 5s. 3s and 5s. Let's increase the resolution a little more. There you go. Now I'm going to use my move tool to refine these tips a little more because they're too skinny. Even though your fingers are kind of skinny towards the end. Some people more than others. So why I once again get reference. Whose hand are you modeling? Usually ballerinas have the best female hands. I don't know, just because a lot of reference I've seen, I would say that. Okay, that looks good enough. Let's cut this here. Oop. And standard. Also keep in mind that this hand's going to be really tiny. This figure is 6 inches. I'm putting a lot of detail on it, but this hand's going to be less, I don't know, probably less than 0.7 of an inch. So smoothing out this edge. Alright, let's put those creases back in here. Middle lines. Remember, 3s and 5s. I use my dance standard here to even these guys out. Find those fingertips. Intensity here. Very subtle. Fingernails are very subtle. Just real quick, let's do a quick clay polish here. There we go. And increase the resolution a little more. And okay, just hit these one more time. You want to layer the detail, you know? You don't want to get in there with your first rendering and put all the hard detail in. You want to layer it up. It's just going to look so much better when you do a couple of layers of rendering. And you slowly go up on the resolution. Don't just jump up on the resolution. Alright, that's a male hand right there. For a female. So, well, not too male, but for a female, maybe smooth it out a little more. And just thin it out. Make the fingers longer, sleeker. That's more like a female hand there, and this up here. Okay, so that's good enough for our hand. A little bigger than we needed, so we're just going to scale it down. Actually, okay, so we're going to make it longer. We'll just stretch it out. There you go. Rotate it up a little bit. Make it a little bigger. And then we'll actually match the scale. Rotate it out. And let's see, move. You kind of make it fit anything you want now, right? You know. Merge down. Let's see if we have enough reservoir side right there to do a dynamesh. Nope. Let's increase the res. There we go. Let's get a smooth stronger out here. Make a nice smooth transition. Maybe inflate here, and your wrist would be thicker on this side. And it's not round, your wrist is not round, it's very oval. Alright. And then of course we mirror and weld. Oops, wrong side. There we go. Mirror and weld. And there you have your other hand. Let's take our hands here, duplicate, and separate them again. And we're going to do a close fist because delete hidden, dynamesh. Turn off symmetry, select one hand, delete hidden, dynamesh. Because usually on an action figure you have an open hand and a closed hand to grab a weapon or whatever. So to close this fist, let's select the mask lasso here. So control to bring up the masking palette here and lasso. So we're gonna mask these guys off at the knuckle, give or take. And actually, let's start here at the tip. Alright, let's mask these guys off at the tip here. Happens when fingers come together, they tend to get the same size. So what I like to do is actually just kind of line them up before I bend them down, because when they get together, it's like if you close your hand into a fist and you notice your fingers, all your fingers seem to be the same length when they're curled up, right? So, and you're not gonna see the nails as much either, by the way. So I kind of line them up first. And then I start twisting. Let's see. Usually you get like around there. Put the rotate back here. Then move it to the middle. That's about it there. Now let's get the second row of knuckles around there. Right. And let's get these on the outside here. Move it to the middle. And move it close to the inside. Maybe not so much. And now let's mask off the rest of these guys. Let's get there. Let's here. And again, start from the inside here. Notice wherever you start your pivot point, there's a big difference. So if I start there, that's actually kind of good. Gives them some clearance. And you don't have to go so far in. Actually closed off these guys too much. Let's just go back a little bit. There you go. Let's try that again. Oops. Okay. And now okay, let me do that again. There you go. Also, let's place a cylinder. Select the insert brushes here, and let's stick. Let's insert a cylinder in here. Split hidden. A small center. Just to give us the idea of what a rod would look like, because now we're kind of again guessing what he's grabbing. So by doing this, gives you a better understanding what it would look like. All right. Back to our hand. Save as. Make sure you save, save, save. Okay. Move tool. Let's mask off a little by having the transpose line on here. Click and drag close to your thumb here, to your thumb, and it'll mask it off and pull a mask. Let me see here. That should always work. Turn off the cylinder. There we go. My move tool. And we get a little more of this here. Make your brush nice and big if you don't want to distort your sculpture too much here. You're always going to have to resculpt some of the details. So we also need to twist this thumb. We need to twist this thumb. So I'm just going to rotate that way, rotate that way, and rotate down. That's more like it. And flat. We do a. Okay, these fingers are fine. So those are going to be touching. But let's separate. Before we dynamesh here. There you go. Now dynamesh. To fill in that gap first. To fill in this gap here, let's just inflate a little bit first. There you go. And do a dynamesh. Inflate, dynamesh. Let's get rid of our smooth stronger brush here. We need to smooth so much stronger in this case. Okay. Same for these guys. Sounds like pretty okay here. Let's line up the make them all at the same thickness here. Now the smooth tool here, I'm actually sculpting back a surface, you know, so it could be used not only for smoothing but in many ways. These guys could, oh, okay, so we need to define, because the knuckles in this angle, we should come all the way out here. So let's get our damn standard and redefine those knuckles. And now let's do a little, well, let's chisel these out first. Okay, and let's do inflate. Let's do the inflate of 3. We're gonna inflate the inside here. Get a nice little crease on the inside of our fingers here. So our fingers also get thicker when they get squeezed together. just slowly inflate them together. Once again, I hope you're looking at some reference when you do this. It's not just guessing where I think things are supposed to go. Look at reference. Whether it's you looking at your own hand, a picture, a video, look at something. Always have reference present when you're sculpting. It'll make your work much better. Eventually you'll be able to summon information from memory, but that'll take time and a lot of sculpting. For now, trust that what you need is just to look at some reference. You will memorize it, but you have to look at it first. And really study it too. So again, I'm using the polish hard brush here to just flatten the fingertips. A little more inflat here. There we go. Okay. All right. A little more resolution. And before I do that, this guy is a little more here. It gets tricky when you have surfaces against each other like this, but just go slow, use the different tools. Let's go ahead and just, as opposed to doing a dynamesh, let's hit divide here on the geometry palette to increase our resolution without blending everything together. Right. And another nail. And one more. Oop. Okay. Again, this is a sculpture for a 6-inch figure. You know, you could spend all kinds of time on this and make a beautiful, perfect hand, but all depends. For me, it depends on the final outcome, the amount of time I spend on a sculpture. Oh, that's weird there. What happened there? I'm going to shrink the brush here, because if you make it too big, the other fingers mess with it. That's what was happening there. Okay, so for a 6-inch action figure, that's more than good enough. And then to make sure that the hand is not touching the cylinder, what we're going to do is we're going to take the cylinder and do a flip So now we see the inside of the cylinder. So now we can move the hand back. Lower the intensity of the move tool here. Now we can move the hand back. Let's also do a transparent ghost on this. The way the brush doesn't get influenced. Here, just almost there. So again, what I did here was I flipped the normals on the cylinder, and so I'm looking at the inside of the cylinder here, and so I can see that my fingers are not touching it from the inside. From the inside, it's not touching it. So now we go back to the cylinder, flip, and we know, because we're looking at the inside of the cylinder, that it's just floating inside the hand. Bring this knuckle up a little bit there. And do a quick flat right here. Beautiful. Okay, so now we have a fist and a hand. So let's take our guy here and cut off one of the hands. Take off symmetry. There you go. Save as. Okay, so let's go on with a pair of feet or a foot. So duplicate the body. And let's take a chunk of the foot here. Delete hidden. Show you that dynamic is on. Move tool. What the size of the foot should be is really based on your model. Ideally, or I don't know, proper size, excuse me, would be a 3/4. I mean, a foot, the size of a head. So if the body is 8 heads long, a foot would be the length of a head. So if you put the foot next to the head, it should be the same length as the head. But again, if it's a male, heroic male, maybe extra big. If it's a female, sometimes they put extra small little feet. So it's up to whatever your design is really. But whether they're small or big, they all kind of have the same anatomy. So let me also keep part of the ankle here, because we duplicate the body again. And take a piece of this ankle here this time. Delete hidden. Dynamesh, and then let's merge. Excuse me. Let's merge these now. Excuse me. Dynamesh. There we go. Okay. That's kind of high. Let's lower the resolution on this a little bit. so we can smooth better. Oh, let's get our smooth stronger brush here for smoothing. Okay, foot, kind of like the hand. We have ligaments. We got toes. Let's get the snake hook. And unlike the move tool, the snake hook almost leaves a trail of clay behind it. The move tool just turns to move the mask. The snake hook, it's much more aggressive. And so that would be the difference. Again, if you have a reference of a foot, you'll be better off than trying to guess what a foot looks like. There's a ligament, just like the hand. It's kind of severe there. Let's kind of chisel down the toe here before I do that. There we go. And then the other two. And toes, if you really look at them, they're long. Not as long as fingers, but they are long. Once again, study some feet. That's the only way. So I'm just kind of chiseling in from the bottom and the top. So these would be touching anyways, they're not going to be separate. So those are the toes. Now let me want to chisel the trenches for the ligaments. So again, when I smooth, I'm thinking that I'm adding skin when I smooth. These two should actually be more divided. But again, I'm sculpting the toe for a 6-inch action figure. So it's almost like a relief of a toe. I don't want the toes separately necessarily. And this does not fall. This I want to decrease the intensity here a little bit, and I want to take this out, push it in. There you go, a little more. There you go. And just the toes go for back there. They kind of spring out. I move through here. I define this little edge here a little more. And the little toe there does stay away from his little cousins here. He doesn't like hanging out with them. The bottom here, I'm not gonna add too much detail. Again, remember, this is, and some of you have clothing on your, or shoes on, so, but if you ever need to sculpt a foot, well, there you go. Remember the inflate tool, if you hold down Alt, instead of inflating, you can deflate. Increase the res a little bit here. Okay, there you go. Let's do a clay polish. Excellent. Now a little more anatomy here. There'll be a, where's my this will come in here. Again, follow some anatomy. I know this is the shape of a foot because I've done so many damn feet. But anatomy will help you really dial this in. More detail on this side. The bone on this side is lower, on the inside is lower, and the one on the outside here is higher. The one that protrudes here, right? And there's some mass here. And there's a ligament that actually goes like this. Under that bone. This place, drag direct. So there you go. Simple foot. Ready to go. Now we take a body here. It's mirror, well, there we go. So we have a left and a right, and our body here we cut off the bottom part here. Make sure you have symmetry on, delete, hidden, oof. Okay. And there you go, you have feet are ready to go, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen.